So whatever leg you have on bottom, I want you to switch it just to get a little bit uncomfortable. We are gonna still be gentle today and take it easy, but we're gonna also be strong. So there's a really good quote I like from BKS Iyengar. He's one of the yoga teachers that brought yoga to America with props. He's like the prop guy to make postures more accessible to people that sit in chairs all day and work at a desk. So he's really focused, or was really focused, on alignment. And his quote is, "It is through the alignment of the body that I discovered alignment of my mind." So we're going to focus a little bit more on alignment and strength, still while going slow. Okay? Close the eyes. Have your palms face down or face up. If you feel like you need to receive some things and fill your cup, you can have your palms facing up. And just begin to take deep breaths without controlling the breath, without thinking about the pattern. Just start to breathe. And we're going to be still for 30 seconds. We're just going to breathe and be still. Another moment here. And then go ahead and blink the eyes open. We're going to start with whatever leg is on the bottom with our stack the logs. So whatever leg is on bottom, knee is bent at a 90-degree angle. And then we're going to take the other ankle and place it on top and line up the knees and the ankles. If this is not accessible, then go ahead and just put the foot in front of the knee instead of on top of the knee. Once you figure out what feels okay, go ahead and ground through the sitting bones. Get tall through the spine. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale and start to hinge forward from the hips. Bring your fingertips in front of the legs. Your body will tell you where you're supposed to stop. And maybe just inch the fingers a little bit closer. Take a couple breaths, inch the fingers further away. And then wherever you're good at stopping, we'll just stop and take a few breaths. Keep the shoulders pressed back, the neck long. Start to walk your fingers over to the right. Keep tall in the chest, lifting the chest. And then whatever, I don't know, what leg is on the bottom for you?
My right leg.
Okay, so it will be, well, I guess regardless, we're still on the same side. The right palm is going to press into the mat. It's early. Inhale, bring the left arm up. Exhale, lean to the right. Whatever leg was on top or bottom, totally irrelevant to what I was just doing. Open up the left side of the body. Feel the stretch down into the hip. And then bring the chest to the floor, bring the left hand down, and then start to walk the fingertips, the hands over to the left. Get tall. Continue to breathe. And then left palm on the mat, inhale the right arm up. Exhale, lean to the left. Next exhale, bring the chest towards the floor, bring the right hand down. We're gonna walk the fingertips back to center and then sit back up and switch legs. So we are gonna go through that one more time, but just a little bit quicker. How do your knees and ankles stack up here?
They line up okay, but my knees are definitely in the air quite a bit still.
Okay. If your top knee is in the air, and well, I guess it doesn't matter. Just put the foot in front of the knee.
Okay.
So you're just having more of like an open, easy pose.
Okay.
Yeah. And keep the feet flexed too to protect the knee joints, especially when they're up in the air. Yeah. Do you feel something when your foot is in front of the knee still?
I do, yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get tall. And then exhale, start to hinge forward, walk the fingertips away from the legs, shoulders back, chest lifted. And also, you know, we're not looking to like press through that stretch. Like the whole no pain, no gain thing doesn't work with yoga. We're looking to build things over time. So we're looking for the gentle stretch, 70%, not 100. Go ahead and start to walk the fingertips to the right. We'll take 3 breaths here and then start to walk them to the left. Go ahead and begin off to the left. And then back to center. Sit back up. We're gonna bring the bottoms of the feet to the mat. Hold onto your knees. We're gonna do our cat pose here. So as you exhale, just start to push the spine, press it towards the back of the body. Arch the shoulders forward, drop the head. And then inhale, you'll probably have to lift the toes to help you lift. Lift the chest, shoulders back. And then exhale, arch. Inhale, lift. Do this a few more rounds at the pace that's good for you. Try to keep the breath slow and steady. Go ahead and finish up wherever you are and come back to just a regular seat. We're gonna go to hands and knees. So swing the legs back, come to hands and knees. Be sure that your hands are shoulder width apart and the knees are hip width apart. Tops of the feet are flat on the mat. We're gonna go through a little bit of a flow here, and this is where the strength starts to come in and the alignment is really important. So wherever, instead of having the hands directly under the shoulders, bring them just a little bit forward of the shoulders. We're gonna stay on the knees here, and we're gonna do a plank chaturanga on our knees, up dog, back to child's pose. We're gonna do that 3 times. So go ahead and begin. Bring the navel to the spine, lift the feet. So this is our modified plank here. Pressing the floor away from you, lifting out of the shoulders. 3 breaths. And on the last exhale, we're gonna lower. Don't let the belly dip first. Elbows are gonna kiss the sides of the body, lower evenly. Drop the feet. Hands to the lower ribs, we're coming up into cobra. So press the hands, lift. 3 breaths here. Come back to hands and knees. Bring the big toes together, knees apart. extended child's pose here. So forehead to mat, 3 breaths. Lift the head, inhale, come back to hands and knees. Plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Try to go real slow. Drop the feet, hands to the lower ribs. Elbows are still pressing towards each other. Inhale, lift. Backs of the legs are really active here. Exhale, child's pose. Let the belly fall towards the legs. Sitting bones heavy towards the heels. Inhale, look up. Come back to knees. Plank. Adjust your hands if you need to. Keep that foundation of the hands in front of the shoulders. Press the roots of the fingers. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Drop the feet, hands to the lower ribs. We're going into upward facing dog this time. So press the hands, everything comes up, straight arms. The tops of the feet and the hands are the only thing on the mat. Look up. Exhale, down, child's pose. Normally it's downward facing dog. Inhale, look up, come back to hands and knees, and now we are going into downward facing dog. So one palm length forward in front of the shoulders, curl the toes under. We're gonna stay up in downward facing dog. Do you have a blanket or something nearby?
Yeah, I can grab a blanket.
Okay. We're gonna roll it up and put it under our feet actually. Because we're gonna stay here for a good 10 breaths. So just roll it, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be fancy. Just roll it up or fold it up, put it at the end of your mat. And then it's just gonna be underneath the feet. So lift the hips up and back. And this is just to make the floor higher. Because if there's tight hamstrings, then your knees will bend. So the blanket will give us a little bit of a lift. And it'll still allow us to lift the sitting bones. Sorry. So 10 breaths here. Focusing on pressing the roots of the fingers. The inner elbows should be facing towards each other. That's the rotation of the shoulders. And then pressing the heels towards the floor. At the same time, lengthening through the tailbone. Ears are at the inner arms. Three more breaths here. Inhale, look up. Start to walk the feet towards the front of the mat. So even a still pose like that is very dynamic. You're always focusing on what body parts are having to line up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. So come to Tadasana. Inner edges of the feet are parallel. Lift the arches, engage the quadriceps, lifting the knees, lift the chest. We're gonna take just a couple breaths here, feeling the evenness of the weight in the feet, noticing where we're compensating, where we need to even it out. And then with palms facing out, keep the shoulders back. We're gonna raise the arms. So keep the palms facing up towards the ceiling. We're coming into Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing arms. We're gonna stay here for 3 breaths. Shoulders pressing down. So I don't know, you probably can't see yourself right now, but the arms, the underarms should look flat. Next exhale, come into chair pose. So all the weight is gonna go to the back of the body. Bend the knees, drop the sitting bones. Keep the arms exactly where they were. Reach through the fingertips, press through the feet. Knees are together for stability. Take 1 more breath. And then exhale, fold forward. Separate the feet, grab opposite elbows, drop the head. Sway a little bit left to right. Dangle the head. Exhale, bring the fingertips back to the mat. Walk the feet closer together. We're coming back in the chair pose here. So drop the sitting bones. Inhale, bring the arms up. 3 breaths. Root the feet and lift through the fingertips. Lift the side ribs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. Plank, and then lower to Chaturanga. You can use your knees again if you want. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. You don't have to use the blanket anymore, but you can if you want. Inhale, look up. Step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Bring your right leg up and out. And then we're gonna bring both feet in the direction of the back of the mat. So we're gonna do our Parshva-Ttanasana. So the back foot is gonna be up towards the left corner of the mat. And then the right toes stay forward. Just kind of look at your knee for a moment to see what direction is going. For me, this is where the alignment in yoga healed my body, you know, my back pain and all that kind of stuff. So this is what, you know, reflecting on that quote where once we can align all the things in the body, we get our mind right as well. So if your knee is pointing one direction or the other, just bend it a little bit. Engage the quadriceps. Get the knee over the second and the third toe. Keep that. And then straighten the leg again. Grab your elbows behind the back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge forward. So you might not go far, just stop where your hamstrings are telling you to stop. Be sure that your weight is in the back foot as well as the front. Shoulders back. Take another breath here. And then bring your hands down to the mat. So if you have to bend the knee here, that's okay. We're gonna come into a half moon, like a modified half moon. So begin to walk the fingertips forward. Keep the right knee bent. Lift the back leg. We wanna open up the hip here. So either open up the hip and the toes are pointing out, fingers can still support you. Or if you feel like you can keep that left arm on the leg, do that. Try to take 3 breaths. We're just continuing to rotate the body open. And then exhale, bring both feet together, nice and slow. Inhale, come to a standing position. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Good. Let's bring our toes in the other direction. Do the same thing on the other side. So left foot is forward. Grab the elbows behind the back. Take a look at your knee. Decide what's going on. My knee always turns in, so I always have to bend it and rotate the thigh out. It's interesting to see what, then the foot goes into another direction. Just try to keep everything lined up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Nice and slow. You can always inhale and lengthen again. Try to create space in the hips and then hinge forward a little bit more. Shoulders back, drop the head. Keep the weight in the back leg as well as the front. Keep the thighs rotating out. Next exhale, bring the fingertips to the ground. See how our half moon is on this side. So bend the left knee, start to walk the fingertips forward, and then see if you can lift that back leg. See if you can point the toes out to the right. Begin to open up the hip. And then if you feel good here with your focus point, your breath, your balance, you can bring the right hand to the leg. My balance is not so great the last few days, so I'm staying here. Take a few breaths. Still have a micro bend in the standing knee. We don't want to lock the knee joint. And then exhale, bend the standing knee, bring both feet together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Go ahead and come to a wide stance, bring the toes forward. Start with the foundation of the feet for the alignment. Press the ball mounts of the big toes, so that will lift the arches. Don't press the knees back, lift the knees up. It's different. So instead of locking the knees back, we're actually forcing the quadriceps to engage. Okay, hands on the waist. Keep the legs strong. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push the hip sockets back to fold yourself forward. Fingertips to the mat. If your hands make it to the mat all the way, that's great. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. And then exhale, fold. Keep the shoulders back. Keep the legs strong. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Hang the head completely. So really let those neck muscles go. Go ahead and inhale to look up. Bring the left hand to the center of the mat, or right under your face, and bring the right fingertips up towards the ceiling for a twist. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Same, replace the left hand, and left hand goes up. Exhale, bring it down. Lift on the balls of the feet, bring the heels in, knees out, and we're just gonna bring the forearms onto the thighs here. So walk your feet closer together if you need to, but we're just gonna come into like a modified goddess pose. The first thing I wanna do is just alternate dropping the shoulders and pressing the knees open. And then we're gonna do a little bit of a flow here. So keep the legs strong, do a little stretch if you need to. Right forearm is gonna stay on top of the thigh. We're gonna inhale the left arm up and over. And then exhale, other side. Right arm up, over. Follow your breath here. One more time. And back to center. Keep the knees open, inhale the arms up. Exhale, come down. Press the feet. Come back to a standing position, bring the toes in, shake the legs out. That was intense. Do you have a wall nearby?
I do not.
Okay, that is totally fine. So we're gonna come to Tadasana. We're gonna do a warrior 3, and then come back down to the floor. All right, so Tadasana. Begin to shift your weight forward and let the right leg start to lift. So this is similar to our half moon pose, but instead of the hips being open, they stay closed, and the toes are gonna stay pointed towards the floor. So keep the arms back, like Superman, and either keep your toes on the floor or lift. Let the ankle wobble. And then bend the standing knee, bring both feet together. Back to Tadasana, take a breath. And then start to shift your weight forward again. Left leg comes back, arms are staying straight back. Bend the standing knee, bring both feet together, stand in Tadasana. And then release. Do you have a strap nearby?
Yes.
Okay, let's stretch the arms out a little bit. All the hard parts are over. All the hard parts are over. All right. So let's go ahead and start with separating the feet. We're going to do the big circles with the strap here. So just kind of, use the strap for support to try to get the shoulders as open as possible. And then turn to the right. The feet are going to stay exactly where they are. Your knee might bend a little bit, but try to keep it in the upper torso. Just come down, come to the left, come up. Just keep doing big circles and being very deliberate in opening the arms and stretching the side body and the front body. And then reverse it. Still engaging the lower belly here, protecting the lower back. And then go ahead and release the strap. We're gonna try our arm stretch like this without the strap today. Bring the feet a little bit closer together when you're finished. And then we're gonna bring the right arm up, right next to the ear, and then just bend at the elbow. Stay here for a couple of breaths. We're reaching down towards the center of the back. And then left arm is going to extend out in front with the thumb pointed down. Begin to internally rotate. Just go slow. Be sure that you're really pushing that shoulder forward so you can bring the arm behind. And then, if you can grab the fingertips, great. If not, that's fine too. Just keep the hands wherever they are and keep the chest lifted. 2 more breaths. And then go ahead and release. Do the other side. Left arm up. Bend at the elbow. You can give your arm a little bit of help here. Press the hand towards the spine, middle of the back. Lift the chest. Try to keep that and then extend the right arm, thumb pointed down so you can internally rotate and reach as far as you can behind. My fingers don't touch at all on this side, and depending on the day, sometimes they do or they don't. Wherever they are, just keep them. You're still gonna feel a stretch. Find your breath. Exhale, release. Shake that out a little bit. Bring the arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back and chaturanga down. All the way down. Left arm is a pillow. Grab the right ankle. Bring the heel towards the glutes. Press the hips into the floor. Don't let the shoulder drop here, the right shoulder. Still keep that shoulder pressing back. And release. Other side. Grab the left ankle. Try to keep the knees in line with, keep them hip width apart, basically. And then go ahead and release on the exhale. We're gonna come into a frog pose here. So press yourself up, separate the knees, bring the feet together, and then lower yourself back down. Your feet are gonna lift up and that's okay. So we're gonna take 5 breaths in this frog pose. So slide the knees. I mean, sometimes the feet can come to the floor. Typically they do not. So rest forehead on the palms and just let the hips open here. Notice if you can soften a little bit more. And then go ahead and straighten the legs and just bring the knees and the legs back together. Grab each ankle. And you can literally just stay here. If this is good for you, you can stay here or you can work on a small back bend. We're not gonna go crazy here. You can press the feet a little bit, lift the head a little bit. You can go further with this if you want. Keep the feet flexed. To go further, you would just press the feet into the hands a little bit more. And exhale, release. Bring your hands to the lower ribs. Press the tops of the feet, elbows back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, come to child's pose. If your arms are tired, you can grab the bottoms of the feet. You can roll the wrists. And then if you are grabbing the feet, bring the hands back to the mat so we can walk the hands to the right. And soften. Lift, walk the hands to the left, and soften. Try to get more of a stretch with that right arm, like the arm that's on top, reach a little bit more with that. And then lift, come back to center. We're gonna come to hands and knees so we can do a wrist stretch before having a seat. So just keep the left hand a little bit forward. Take the top of the right hand and press it onto the mat. Keep the arms straight. So the more you shift your weight back, the more of a stretch you're gonna feel in the forearm. And then release. Shake that out a little bit. Do the other side. Top of the left hand on the mat. Shift your weight back. And then release. Cross at the ankles, have a seat. I want to bring the soles of the feet together and come into Baddha Konasana B, which is just completely rounding the back. So let's inhale and lengthen. Press the shoulders back. And then exhale, just completely concave, stomach, chest, and roll forward with the head. One more breath here. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring the knees back together. We're going to bring the left leg behind us. And then either do like a saddle stretch here, or you can take the right foot and put it on top of the left thigh. We're going to do a twist, and there's another option here. You can go for, or just take it easy. You can use the left hand to reach for that toe, and then left hand's going to go on the knee. I don't know if my arm's going to quite make it today. There we go. Left hand on the right knee, and then we twist. So you'll feel an extra stretch in the shoulder, and if you have your strap nearby, you can actually strap the foot and grab the strap that way. Lift the chest, neck is long. And next, exhale, release. Were you able to get your foot up there?
I didn't try.
Okay.
I've seen too much.
That's okay. I love your honesty. So bring the left foot forward, and then we're going to bring the right foot on top of the thigh, just casually. Nothing, we're not going into half lotus here. I just want to pay a little bit attention to the feet. So take your hands and press the spot that's right below the second and the third toe, the padding of that foot, and just press there. Stay nice and tall so the left leg can also, the hamstrings can open up. And then with the thumbs, you're gonna just start to massage down the foot into the heel. And just squeeze the heel, squeeze the Achilles. Take extra time where you need extra attention on your foot. And then we'll start to take the fingers and massage the top of the foot, going back up towards the toes. And we're gonna squeeze each of the toes and pull each of the toes. So start with the pinky, just squeeze from the root up to the tip. And then go to the next one. Kind of working on the circulation here. I know most of us are not on our feet as much as we are normally. Maybe you probably are too, because you're you know doing extra stuff. But for me, it's been my arms, and wrists. So once you're with that, see if you can interlace your fingers between the toes. If you cannot, that is completely fine. But we want the ankle to be over the knee enough so the foot can just dangle, and we can use the hand to just rotate the ankle. we'll go clockwise and then in the other direction. So spreading the toes apart is really important for the foundation of the feet. We put our feet in boxes from the time we're like 1 year old and walking. So a lot of us, our feet are squished together. But yoga does help if you're working on separating and spreading the toes over time, it will change the foot.
My right foot is especially bad for that.
Your right foot?
Yeah, my left foot has a little more spread to it, but my right foot, the middle toes are all very crunched together.
Yeah, do you notice, like, do you have any problems with your feet because of that?
Oh yeah.
So how does it hurt when you try to spread them apart with your fingers?
It does on this one, yeah.
Well, as long as it's not, you know, like that little discomfort is okay.
Exactly, it's just a little discomfort. It's nothing bad. Just obvious that I need to do it more.
So yeah, I mean, we do these warriors and triangles and all of this balancing stuff, and it's like, wait, our toes. All right, let's do that stretch on the other side. So you can just do the straddle, or you can attempt the foot on top or not. Again, you can always use the strap. Left hand will reach behind. And then right hand will go on top of the left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come into your twist. Find your breath here. You're not going to feel the belly get as deep, but you'll feel the twisting and the squishing, the massaging of the organs here. It's a really good deep twist in the spine too. Take one more breath. And then exhale, release. Carefully and safely bring that right foot forward, or the right leg forward, extend it out in front of you, and then take the left ankle over the leg. So we'll start with our thumbs pressing underneath the second and third toe, just pressing on that pad. And then start to massage the foot all the way down to the heel. Squeezing all around the heel, back to the Achilles. And then work your way around the top of the foot with the fingers, massaging all the way up to the toes. And then paying attention to each individual toe, squeezing from the root to the tip, giving a little bit of a pull. I'm trying to remember how many nerve endings are on the feet. I feel like it's in the tens of thousands though. Do you know?
I do not. That's insane.
There's a lot, and there's several muscles too. All right, go ahead and take the fingers in between the toes if you can, just do your best. And then let the foot be loose so you can do circles with the ankle. Both directions. And then go ahead and release. We're gonna bend the knees and put the feet flat on the floor. And then make not like a fist, but just make like a soft fist with your hands. And we're just gonna tap our legs. So start at the hips and work your way up. Go down the legs. And then the tops. And then on the inside. Go to the bottom. Doesn't that feel good on the legs?
It does.
Like you feel this little buzziness around your legs. Go ahead and lie down on your back. You can start by bringing the knees up to the chest and rocking a little bit left to right. And then bring the feet back down to the mat. We're gonna do our supine pigeon here. So take the right ankle to the left knee, interlace the fingers behind the thigh, bring the knee towards the body. Be very conscious about what you're doing with the muscles in your face. So be sure that you're softening the face muscles and relaxing the neck and the shoulders towards the mat. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And then go ahead and release. Other side, left ankle, right knee. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh. So as we do this, also, there's this slight movement of, just tilting the pelvis. So you're pressing the left knee away from you and then dropping the tailbone a little bit, just to square off the pelvis. Keep both feet flexed. Relax the muscles in the face, the neck, the shoulders. One more breath. And then exhale, release. Grab your blanket or your block, whatever you have nearby. The blanket will work just fine. And go ahead and put it underneath the sacrum so we can put our legs up for a supported shoulder stand. I'm just going to use my hands because that's an option too. Left leg will go up. Right leg will go up. Feet and legs are together as if you have one big leg. And we're just going to stay here for a few moments. Try to have the ankles directly over the hips. You don't have to be flexing the feet or anything, just let the feet go. And then we're going to bring the legs down one at a time. So very slowly, left leg first. And then right leg. Whatever is underneath the sacrum, release it or put it off to the side. And then we're going to bring the knees up, grab the insides of the shins or the feet, and come into happy baby from here. So you have to lift the butt a little bit to be sure that the lower spine is flat. And then press the knees towards the floor. Rock left to right. Taking these last few moments, opening the hips. Come to stillness. Release the feet, bring the knees together, drop the legs. Straighten the legs, arms overhead, take a long stretch. And then get ready for your Shavasana. So if you have a blanket, something to cover the eyes. If you want to put support under your knees, even under your head, supporting the neck. Let's go ahead and get those things ready. Turn the lights off. And then lie flat on your back, palms facing up. Be sure the ankles are separated, shoulder blades are flat. Chin is a little bit lower than the forehead. Notice all the areas that your body is in contact with the mat.